Put that shit on. Hey, hey, hey. Put that shit on. Hey, 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 hey.
Yo, listen, we are back. Welcome back to another episode of StoppageTime TV, live in the flesh, live in direct in the flesh. You already know what time it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Culture Cams hasn't changed colour. He's just not here. We got Leah's in the building.
Real men.
Listen, rise.
You must.
Got Fuad, myself, man. We already know what time it is. Before we go any further, stop right now. Like, share, subscribe, notifications on. Do everything you need to do. Thank you so much for messing with us since we got to FTBL. We proper appreciate it. The growth's been mad, but we want to keep going. So like, share, subscribe, send to your aunties, send to your uncles, send to your cousins, send to everyone. Let everyone come and watch the show, man. The World Cup's for everyone. Qatar from afar.
Listen, you got Nigerian wearing Japan.
Listen,
man. I don't even know where he's from. He's
So
coming
where
to
are you?
every week,
Listen,
bruv. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
where are you from?
Multicultural. You see, we
let
got
you-
Mexico. We
where
got
are you-
y'all
where are you
decide,
from?
man.
Listen, I don't know about
I'm from around the way.
Just I'm from around the way. You know what I'm saying? We through to the next round.
around the
Oh
way.
my gosh, listen, man. We've got a lot to get into. Of course, as you know, the England versus Senegal game just finished. Round of 16's popping. This World Cup's really funny because obviously group stage ended, and you know usually you get that like 1 day off. Straight to round of 16. I said, nah,
there's
the
no rest.
vibes.
No rest day.
Vibes can't done. So we've got a lot to get into. But like, share, subscribe. Don't forget as well, Christmas is coming. Manscaped, 20% off. Very good produce. Free posting and packaging, I believe. You know what to do, man. Listen, man, them look after yourselves. Don't be musty, don't be dusty. Please, come on, man. We've got to do better. Look after yourself. Make sure that if you have a significant other in your life, that, you know, everything's looking...
man.
You get me?
The nitty gritty. Goddamn.
No, but it's true, bro. This is. I'm not pushing product here. I'm pushing wisdom. Like, look after yourselves, man. Them. Don't be in the group chat getting called because you didn't get Manscaped. You get me? No one's there. Don't be like set man, innit? Like, bro, you know, bro. You've used the products a few times. You have anything you can tell us?
A personal testimony themselves. I'm telling you, as a man who's recently gotten into a relationship. One of the things my lady often comments to me most is about how well groomed I am. So, listen, if you want the same compliments, 20% off STTV. You know the code, man.
Said, ding! But listen, man, let's get into it. There's no point in just dilly-dallying. We have a quarter-final between France and England.
Tasty.
Tasty. It's the quarter-final that we predicted.
Yeah.
We predicted here that would happen. If I remember properly, I think I said England would get semis. You said...
I was stuck between quarters and semis.
Yeah.
But this is the game that
made you think.
Yeah.
But we'll break down each team's sort of path there. Let's start with England, though. Comprehensive 3-0 victory against Senegal.
Didn't look comprehensive in the first half.
And first few bits, the AFCON was giving chaos a little bit.
First half, England, I don't know. I thought Senegal were a much better team.
They went through so many times and like there was that question: is it a handball? Is it not? No, they threatened England first.
I thought that was a penalty. I can't lie to you. I was like,
I
my man
so too,
swiped him from underneath.
Mays explained it though, bro. If it comes off any point of your body and then onto your hand,
onto the hand,
doesn't count.
Doesn't count anymore, man.
Anyway, I thought Senegal actually in the first half. I was thinking it was similar to what we saw with Australia yesterday as well with Argentina. I felt like where these smaller teams now, I think they're realizing these big nations or whatever, as good as they are, every single one of them has some kind of chink in their armor. And the question is kind of, are you brave enough to take the game to them? So credit to Senegal, they came out of the blocks, and I thought first kind of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I thought they kind of ran the game. But then, as quality does, over time, it just kind of shows. And second half, I think England came out and... Listen, is it my man on the right? Got involved.
Well, to be fair, wasn't it?
Hey, listen.
But before we even
that
get
was
there,
too funny, man.
I mean, one thing we've been talking about is sort of formation, setups, personnel.
Yeah.
And I don't want us to have a Southgate conversation every single week, but I think it's come to that point in the international tournament where England are progressing quite seamlessly, and we have to have the conversations. And we were saying something in pre-production about it's sort of like it's a bit of both of them. But before we even get to that, we have to discuss, and I have to give him credit. He's not here. He said that he's one of the players you should look out for was Phil Foden. Comes into the side, 2 assist for Harry Kane, an assist for Saka. Let the ballers ball. That's what happens.
Best player on the pitch there, in my opinion.
Foden.
Yeah.
Up there, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely up there. I mean, but look, you guys are talking about Foden. I don't want to if you really want to specify.
No, just we start there.
Yeah, I mean, Foden. The question was, would it be him or Sterling? I think Sterling made the decision pretty obvious because with that family matter happening.
Yeah.
But Foden is a player. When you see every single fan from a national team saying, "If I could take one England player, it would be him." He plays like a Brazilian. He could get into the French team. They're not just saying that for the sake of it. This is one of the best talents in world football. And to not have this guy be a key player in your team, like you're looking at the game against the US, doesn't get on the pitch. In what world is that normal?
Bro, it almost feels like sometimes the Paul Scholes situation all over again, where you've kind of got this technical midfielder that the manager doesn't seem to think fits in the system, but every other country, every other top player seems to rate him. And it's a case of, are England going to misuse him? Now, obviously with Scholes, England in the end, I think they ended up putting him left wing, and that was kind of where he kind of made his England career. And you think, what a waste of Paul Scholes that is, just so you can kind of force the Gerrard and Lampard combination in the middle. But Foden, I think, when you come into a tournament, especially having had the tournament he had last year, I think there was a lot of pressure on, can he handle it this time? And listen, I know you wanted to touch on Southgate as well. We criticise Southgate for a lot, but could that have been maybe him protecting him for the first 2 games and just saying, you know what, you had a lot of pressure on you. Let's see how we build kind of the first 2 games, right? And then when I do bring you in, you can kind of give us a breath of fresh air. And let's be honest, that's what Foden has been. He's been almost like a breath of fresh air where you're like, hey, England have a little bit of creativity now when they get on the ball in the final.
I want to pod quickly because with Southgate, my often criticism of him is I don't feel like he can utilise his best creative players to their maximum potential. But what I have to credit him for is, I've always said, coming through like youth steps and everything, he's like those sort of like, you know, like when you're in school, the youth teacher that puts their hand around you and it's like, listen, it's going to be like this, it's going to be that. When you look at how he handles English media and the England team, you can't fault him. Like, you can't fault the job he's done. I read a stat which says this is the third time in history that consecutively England have reached the quarterfinals for 3 consecutive major tournaments. Yeah. First time in history. That's because of what he's built.
Absolutely.
Some people say it's very similar to Deschamps, so it's like, I've got my camp, I know how to galvanise, then we move forward. But what I like about him is he knows how to keep the media quiet. Prime example, let's keep what it is, yeah. I don't think we're going to see Maddison.
No,
I genuinely don't think we're going to see Maddison, but he brought him in to say, listen, you guys keep talking. I need quiet around the camp. I need quiet around the camp.
Here you go.
Here's a call up, man. Leave me alone.
Come across. Don't worry about training gear. Just come, get fit. You can go back when you're ready. Masterstroke, because all of the noise disappeared. In terms of how Rashford's been utilised, I saw him say something about, I told him when he came off, you can smile now. It's almost like, I'm not going to start you, so when you come on, you've got the fire in the belly, because I know that's how to get the best out of you. With Foden, I need to protect you, because ultimately I've seen what happens when it's England and there's too much and this and that. It feels like everything goes right in terms of him protecting space. Harry Kane, he said it. He's not scored, that's fine. He's got 3 assists. It means that the goal is coming closer. Gets his goal today. He does really well in these moments. Where the difficulty is for me now is, you're going against a team where, as we always say here, man for man, technical security and think it's a harder team to face now. How do you deal when the quality is possibly better than the team you have?
Can you tactically outdo this?
Can you tactically do that? Are you going to look at Mbappe and say, I need to go back to 5 at the back when ultimately the 4 is working? This is where it gets interesting now, because we spoke about here. Italy game, what happened? Tactically, you're undone. Yeah, people say penalties, but in the game, you forfeit a lead. This is where it gets interesting, and it's so hard because it feels that Southgate can take you so close to the promised land, but is he the guy that's going to get you across, because you need that little bit of detail?
But I'm seeing things, Maze, that are actually convincing me that he may just be that guy.
He may have learned.
Look, there's one thing that I've noticed this game, and I think last game as well, and it's something that I've always been saying. Jude Bellingham, for me, is a very misprofiled player in that people look at him and look at, oh, he can do everything. You want to play him like deeper next to Declan Rice. And that's how we played him the first 2 games. And give him credit, he scored that goal against Iran, but you limit him. You box him in when you play him in that deeper role next to Declan Rice. Jude Bellingham's best qualities come in the final third, where you give him the freedom to play, roam, and create chances. And he'll do it for fun. Everyone is criticizing the what's his name, Henderson inclusion into the lineup. Back to old Southgate. Just bring his favorites. But Henderson next to Declan Rice and allowing Jude Bellingham to be the most advanced central midfielder has completely unleashed him. The first 2 goals are completely on him.
100%.
And you look at previous England managers and previous England teams, and you play Gerrard and Lampard deep together in a 2, and you wonder why Paul Scholes ends up on the left. And the whole thing, there's no balance to it. You have the best players on the pitch, but not in the right areas. all they needed was perhaps a Michael Carrick playing as like the lone guy to free those guys up.
Yeah.
Sven wasn't able to do it. Capello wasn't able to do it. Southgate, I think, has finally been able to unlock England's best players the way he's playing now. In the past, I've always said, 5 in the back will only get you so far. The way he's playing, I hope to God he does not go into this game against France now and throw it all away and go back to a back 5 and play reactionary. Because he has the players that dominate.
You have to give credit as well. He had to drop Mount.
Take the game to them, bro. France are not unbeatable. We're going to talk about them later on. But you could get at them, man. Why?
Because the thing is...
He had to drop Mount for that as well, which I want to say as well, which is fair play, because Mount is one of his lead lieutenants. And it's like...
But Mount has shown himself at this tournament and last
100%, but it still takes balls to do it.
Just on the Bellingham thing as well is... Obviously, you lot saw the tweet as well. I tweeted out that I think he is probably, for me personally, and I said it last year on Dos Locos, and I remember Cam was like, whoa, let's calm down. But I said he is, for me, since I've seen Michael Ballack, he's the closest thing I've seen. And I mean that in kind of the way he runs with the ball, the engine he has, the size he has. For me, even the leadership skills. People will say, oh, he's only 18, don't compare him just yet. But I mean, just from a profile aspect, what he can do with and without the ball, the size he brings, the athleticism as well, heading ability, leadership. I'm like, bro, this is Michael Ballack regen. But the problem is, because Michael Ballack is such a great player, we will never kind of look at that. But I look at Jude Bellingham, and I think what you're saying there as well is in the third man of a midfield where he doesn't have to do the defensive duties.
And he can do the defensive duties, right? Yeah, he can. He's a physical specimen.
He loves to do
he loves it.
He's one of those guys, when he tracks back, he wants to throw in that.
He's from the championship.
And I love that, because Ballack used to be like that as well. Ballack used to want to get back and get involved in the nitty-gritty. So I'm like, bro, but one thing I disagree with is if Southgate goes with this again, this means Foden is stuck out wide. And although today I think he thrived, I genuinely think England have to move Foden to that 10 role.
And then what would you play? Jude and Rice in the midfield?
Yeah, I would play Jude and Rice in the midfield. And I would tell Rice, listen, Rice, every once in a while, I think he likes to get involved like he does at West Ham. I'm telling him, listen, for England, it's a different role for you. You are just a clamp, sweep, and give it 5 yards. And that might say you're limiting Rice, but that gets me the best out of him.
Let's
unleash him.
Because we will talk about the French and England midfield matchup, because that will be very exciting.
Of course.
With all the profiles in there. I know I've got super chat in there that we're going to. Do you know the song?
Super chat, super chat. Hey, so we got 2 of them.
Oh, 2.
Mohammed says England 3 clean sheets on the bounce, France 0. And that's another good point, right?
We said it in pre-production.
Like the back 5 was there for the defensive security and the so-called protect Maguire or whatsoever. They're still keeping clean sheets. They're still being very solid defensively with this back 4. So yeah, I don't see a reason to change. And Mohammed also leaves another one. He said, take another one from me. Bellingham versus Tchouaméni, the showdown I want to see. We'll talk about that.
Listen, we're gonna get into that one.
One more just came in. $10 super chat. Big up, cool. Okay. England's best chance in this tournament is if they can turn into a Premier League games into a Premier League type match. I feel like in transition and for the first goal today down the flanks, Rice is a great player, but he can't break lines.
Listen, I want to say something on that. We're talking transition, and that's all good and well, yeah. But you see what does Cam call him? Transition.
Transition.
You don't want to get into a transition game with him.
You're looking like M Phenomenal right now, bro.
First half, the way Sarr was cooking certain man on that wing, we were looking like, hey, that's Mbappe. That's Dembooz.
Yeah.
Without sports mode, you know. But no, it was well played. Rashford came on as well, you know, wanted to get his goal. Saka got his goal. I know you were saying that you wasn't too sure about his performance, but he left with something.
Listen, people will say I was having an agenda. I don't think he was.
I didn't say it's an agenda. I'm just saying that.
It was wasteful, but then obviously, as he does, he's got mental notifications turned on for my tweets. As soon as I fired off the tweet, hey, he's being wasteful. He said, all right, hold this big man. Pat. So
it was a good finish as well. But like, England have. I don't want to say England are a tournament team, but they've found the knack of how to navigate through tournaments, how to navigate through sticky moments. I remember when it was the USA draw, I was telling people, just relax.
Do you remember that? I said it was an overreaction.
I said relax. Do you not remember what happened with Scotland? Yeah. Relax. It's cool. Like
group stage, I think
you always need one of them games. Yeah,
every team that had an incredible first game didn't follow it up second game. Spain had that 7-0, lost the next game.
This was the first group stage at World Cup since I think 1972 or something, where no team got 3 wins out of the group stage. It's like you got to do what you got to do. Then the thing is, like, tournament football is not about being perfect. It's about being right in the right moments. So now you go against, the world champions that want to be the first ever team to do it back to back. That's where we're going to see. But this is a perfect segue to talk about their game.
I was going to say there's one more super chat from Ash.
Oh, go on then.
Ash goes, can Cams do an ice bucket challenge for Declan Rice to make a line-breaking pass? He's the major problem in this team. Saka and Foden nailed on in the wings.
Hey, yo!
Yeah, we got another.
Yo, fuck the bucket of ice.
We got one more that just came in too. You guys are going crazy with it. Big up you guys.
Big up you guys, man.
Jude going to Liverpool will break my heart. France will slap England up. Mark my words, need Mbappe to rise further and stop Neymar from winning the World Cup. Wow, this is real hating, bro. He said, I need Mbappe to win the World Cup, not for him. Get Neymar out of there.
Man said rise further. Whoa.
You're bad-minded. You're bad-minded.
But, nah. Jude can only
speak on
Galactico, man.
Listen,
listen. I remember I came in and I phrased it wrong when I said dark horses, because ultimately you can't be dark horses you won. But I was like, this is a team where no one's talking about them because the injuries and everything.
Bruh.
Now you understand what I'm talking about. Bruh. You can't write this team off. Listen.
Hey, man.
Voldemort.
Hey, man.
Messi. Have to say bye-bye, yo.
Who's Voldemort?
Hold on.
Man that can't be named. Voldemort, my man at Portugal. Listen, man, get rid of man. Messi, listen.
Homelander.
I didn't even know that.
Voldemort, listen.
No, the Homelander one is hilarious.
Thank you so much. I've loved every single moment of it. It's been real.
Yeah, hey, chill, and Leo. Come on,
this is the Mbappe
relax.
era. Listen,
okay, that era's done, but I'm saying
this is the Mbappe era.
I was gonna say, Natty Boy got a super chat, bro. Yo, they're sending him like crazy, by the way.
No, it's good, man. I love it, man.
Every 30 seconds. An informed Kylian versus a hobbled Kyle Walker. I think it'll be a massacre.
Bro, it could get messy, man. It could get messy, no pun intended. But
No, listen, what Mbappe was doing, that's what, 9 World Cup goals? 9 World Cup goals. He's beaten Pele's record for getting 8 by the age of 24. He turns 24 2 days before the final. Who knows how many goals he can get before then? He is just... You've been saying it for a while. A few people have been saying it for a while.
Le meilleur joueur du monde.
You can't go past it. He is the best player in the world. He is him. This is the definition of... All right, cool. I'll do it. I'll do it.
He has arrived.
You guys don't want to do your retirement? Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
The goal he scored here is the definition of... like in training, you've been trying and it's like, okay, cool. He stopped and he said, all right, cool.
Nah. Let's be honest. The Polish defenders were scared of getting spun out.
No, but it's true. But the way he
30 seconds.
The way he stopped the ball.
Pick your corner and just shoot, brother.
But bro,
the way he stopped the ball.
No. Let's give him his use. That defending was woeful.
No, but I'm saying the way because he could have just kept running, but he said he stopped. He said what? Nah.
Well, listen, what he's doing, he's grabbing games by the scruff of the neck on the biggest stage in the world. And we thought when he did this at 19 at the last World Cup, I said that was for me his coming out party. He announced it. What I've seen him do in the Champions League the following year, I was like, nah, this is his era now. He's taken over. Forget Messi and Ronaldo. Now at this World Cup, it's undisputed and undeniable. And now we're talking about... We're having conversations of, how much did Messi and Ronaldo score by this age? Could he retire the GOAT?
Dumb that is, by the way?
Do you know how crazy it is, this conversation we're having? And nobody's saying like they're better than them. But what it is just, bruv, we're astounded by the achievement this guy achieved at such a young age. And it's not just I'm part of a great team, or I'm exciting and I've got potential. I'm doing it. I'm here with the big guys next to me. I'm the standout star. And that's where I'm like... Forget Henry debates, forget all of this. Let's just appreciate it,
bro.
As Rio Ferdinand said, listen, we got them both here.
That's what
we got Mbappe here.
I was going to say real quickly. The last 10 to 15 years, people have. It's been Messi, Ronaldo, but to a point that like one can't appreciate the other because it's so fierce of a rivalry, and I think it's taken away from the greatness of both of them.
Yeah.
If you support Messi so much, you're going to not look at Ronaldo in the same light. Mbappe, I know they're going to try this Haaland thing. Appreciate it, bro.
And this is why when we were doing FTBL coach with Cams, that's why I was saying to him, like, let's just end this Haaland Mbappe thing now. Because one, they're two players, different positions, different profiles. I said, I understand we need the urge to create some kind of competition, but this is not a rivalry, especially when you look at what one is able to do on the international stage and the other one plays for Norway. You're never got. It's apples and oranges. I said. So let's just end that there.
The Van Nistelrooy Henry thing was perfect.
The Van Nistelrooy Henry thing I felt like was the greatest comparison, and I said, do you know what? Let's just appreciate him for what they are. One is a goal machine, and this when we took, you know, very often as well. I have the last 4 or 5 years, the word generational has just become like this. Hey man, this kid is a superstar. Foden generational. Hey, Felix is generational. Kai generational. This is generational. You know when you say there's only going to be one type of guy like this,
one of one
for the next. For me, generational players are one every 15 to 20 years. You get this type of player. Neymar, Messi, Ronaldo, Maradona, Pele. You say whatever type of player, you know that caliber.
I've got a question.
Mbappe
for you guys,
is that generation.
I've got a question for you guys. Was the Benzema injury a blessing in disguise to this French team?
Perhaps.
Wait a minute.
Perhaps, and everyone knows I'm a huge Benzema fan, right? But perhaps, definitely, Giroud is. Perhaps, maybe. But let me make my point. Look. It's a valid question, right? And again, I don't want to be coming at my guy Benzema. But Giroud does something for the rest of this team.
Listen,
bro.
this pick and roll, we saw what happened last time, All right, cool. Mbappe said, "You guys saying that Giroud didn't get no goal, no shots and target. Don't worry, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that." Now he's got the record. They both got goal and assist for each other today. Mbappe got 2 goals. Mbappe's got 3 assists and 4 goals at the tournament. So he wants to try and get both. Come on, man. He's
and I'm a pass first guy. Nah, maybe, right? Like Giroud is so beneficiary to the rest of the team, and he's adding goals to it now too because he's having a great tournament now. But let's face the facts. 2018, he was a vital member to that team. There's a reason why he played every single game. But guys like Mbappe played better with him. Guys like what's his name, Griezmann, who I don't want to talk too much. You want to talk about Griezmann right now?
Speak on it.
Griezmann.
Well, finish this and then speak.
The main point is that Giroud is able to get all of these guys and elevate their level to another one because Benzema, while he will always score more goals than Giroud. He's a better goal scorer, but the thing that's made Didier Deschamps' France team so good in the last few years is the chemistry and the dynamic of the team and the dressing room and the balance. There's a reason why they won the World Cup with Matuidi and Giroud up front last time because they just work for the rest of the team.
Who? Yeah.
Remember Matuidi? My man over there with Pogba and Kante.
No, I was like, hold on.
Pogba and Kante cannot play to those levels without Blaise Matuidi doing the role that he did on that, playing left winger.
You're right.
Giroud was the same thing. So yeah, and now you got Griezmann, right? Griezmann. I look at it like the same way of England, and people were saying Maguire shouldn't start for England because look at the way he's playing at club level. There are certain players at international level that it doesn't matter where they're playing, who they're playing for, and how they're playing, they will play. And Griezmann is the prime example of this because every single tournament, this guy turns up. And the craziest thing is it's a different role every single time. I tweeted about it, 2014, he's playing as a left winger with Benzema and Valbuena on the front
4-5-1,
three. 2 years later, Deschamps makes the system entirely around him. Payet on one side, him there, playing behind Giroud. And he was the top scorer of that tournament, best player. World Cup 2018, again, I think he won the bronze ball, second top goal scorer in the tournament. And now, where it looks like he's completely physically washed, he's struggling at Atletico Madrid, he has the IQ, the versatility, and the unselfishness to be basically playing this third-man midfielder role, putting in tackles, creating chances, circulating the ball.
Quality.
He is one of the most underappreciated and most intelligent football players there has been in the last 20 years. Because he's not a great athlete, to be honest with you. He's not like the most skillful player, but he's so intelligent and does his role so incredibly well. Brother, he's a gem. Griezmann is a gem, man.
I think he's someone in this tournament as well has definitely been overlooked as like, I'm saying player of the tournament.
He's been one of the best in the tournament.
Every single France game, he has been pulling all the strings. And he's, even within, you're saying he's played multiple roles over previous one. Even in this tournament, he's played multiple roles. So I'm like, listen, at some point you have to give him his use for someone who was playing 30 minutes per game for the pretty much half the season
because they didn't want to give him the paper.
Listen, no credit to him.
Oh man, have you got any more super chats?
Cam is asking me, so why do you diss Deschamps Lias? I'm a hater. That's why I'm a hater.
Do you know what Deschamps and Southgate, those types of managers, they've got not similarities, but in a sense of like, they will always rub people the wrong way with their selections, with their tactics, with even their ideologies.
Can I ask you something? What international manager does it?
And this is what I was going to come to. I was like, yo, with some guys, it's like you've just got to accept international football has always been like that. No matter what great teams you look at, there are players that are missed out on. There's systems that aren't used. It's like, a lot of the times people are left thinking, is this the guy, the right guy for the job? So for me, it's just part and parcel of it. You got to take the love, you got to take the hate. But I definitely think them two prior to this tournament were getting a lot of shit. And listen, we got to hold our hands up.
For me.
Listen, the chomp, I was calling it.
Deschamps.
Oh my god! Any others coming?
Chad is telling Cam's
Fair play though.
This guy said, Cam's tell your immune system to rise.
Immune system, rise!
Natty Boy sent a super chat in saying, outstanding World Cup, we're next for Griezmann.
How old is he now?
No, he just made it. He just made his Atletico move permanent. So I imagine he'll finish there and then maybe retire at Sociedad.
You reckon he finished there?
Retire at Sociedad. Go back home, man. That's where they birthed you.
I was gonna say he's the only player in the France national team that never played for like an academy there. He went straight to Spain.
Yeah.
Nah, but he's good.
Different.
Any others?
There was one other one speaking about the game itself, saying Rashford to pat Mbappe on the head again. Let it happen.
There's a lot of in this France England game as well. Though there's that.
Do you know where I want to start?
Go on.
I want to start with. We have to start with the midfield.
Has to.
We have to start with the midfield because I think midfield, and we go to, because one of the previous super chats was talking about France. They've conceded in every single game they played so far. They nearly got a clean sheet against Poland, and of course the penalty. Lewandowski, by the way, we saw it. That's not going to help you win votes at the Ballon d'Or. We saw it. Bro. You've got 2 goals, that's great, but we saw it. You're not getting top 5 anyway. But let's go back to France. That midfield battle, because Bellingham, if he is going to try and do what he needs to do, France playing the transition, we're going to see Bellingham versus Tchouaméni.
You said it right this time.
I can't lie to you. Outside of that, though, is it not very underwhelming?
Rabiot versus Henderson.
I know. I'm looking at that midfield battle like it's going to be. But that is not going to be where the game is won or lost.
No, but I'm saying Rabiot's been having a decent World Cup.
He's had a decent World Cup, but for me, I'll be honest with you, and I think big up Mariah from Touchline as well. He said. He tweeted this out earlier, and I was like, yo, he hit the nail on the head. He said, Rabiot and Tchouaméni is just too far of a drop-off from Pogba and Kante. They don't have the defensive control, and they don't have the creativity.
I don't agree with Tchouaméni, to be fair. Yeah. I think Tchouaméni's having a very, very good tournament.
I agree. I think individually, they're actually having good tournaments.
But there's no point talking about what's not here. I look at them,
and I'm like, they can be got at.
Of course, but this is what I'm saying, that ultimately, if it was France of old, you'd be thinking that's a no-brainer. But we're talking about a team where we're saying they don't have the defensive capabilities. This is a team that have kept. They haven't had a clean sheet here. England have. So therefore, we're going to talk about Mbappe. It's easy to talk about Mbappe. It's easy to talk about, thing. But that midfield, whether we rate or don't rate it, so much is going to come down to those midfields helping both teams transition. Is Henderson going to play hoofball? Can Declan make sure that he's composing the ball? Can Bellingham physically get past Tchouaméni? Like it's going to be interesting. Definitely. It might not be where the game's won, but because the levels are not what we think the levels should be, it's going to be interesting.
1,000%. And that's why, for me, I've been so hesitant to pick a team that comes out of that side of the bracket. Yeah. Because England and France, if Pogba and Kante were there, I would say France 1,000%. But France's midfield, for me, is not intimidating. There is no reason why England should go into this game and get dominated by Tchouaméni and Rabiot. It shouldn't happen.
And I look at their defense, and there's holes in that as well.
Absolutely. Varane, this tournament, has been very, very shaky. I would say the one guy I'm very impressed with, and he needs his flowers, Dayo Upamecano has risen, bro. He is playing so well, and he's had this narrative and this agenda that's kind of followed him, that he has this bozo gene.
Upamecano.
They were calling him. They were calling him.
You called him that.
I was his number 1 fan. Go check the tweets.
You said they were calling Upamecano Upamecano. That's what they were calling him, bro. But brother, I always thought Upamecano was one of the best ball playing center backs on the planet. With his feet, bro. The goal that they scored, the first one, comes from his ball over the top.
Yeah.
He's having an exceptional tournament. But Varane next to him, Koundé on the right, and Theo Hernandez is exceptional going forward. But you can get at him defensively.
Big up Koundé as well for the jewels
today. For the jewels,
what was it? 40 minutes he was running around with his chain.
That's all you're getting from him, bro. Because he was crap today, bro. Honestly, Koundé playing as this bombarding right back. Give me a break.
France, that position has been a week. Malo Gusto.
It's when Spain had Capdevilla, right? You have all these ballers, and you got Capdevilla playing left back.
Hey, don't do that.
You're gonna compare Capdevilla to the rest of that team.
Super Depot Capdevilla.
Stop that.
Hey, please,
he was playing Villarreal them times anyways.
Hey, man, that left peg. Stop. You ain't never seen a left back wear number 11.
Let's go. Let's go into these games before we let's round up this game. So how do you see this game going ultimately? How many substitutions are England gonna have to make? Because this is Kyle Walker gonna be able to last and 90 minutes.
Here's another thing with Kyle Walker, right? I think people are saying Kyle Walker can shut down Mbappe because he's done it in the past. Walker, since the recent injuries,
Hamstring gone. Listen, man.
Listen, do you know what's mad?
Shaky.
I think the two things that could have helped England the most in stopping Mbappe are both done, because Stones got injured in this game, and then you had.
We don't know how bad.
You don't know how bad it is,
Yeah.
but let's say he's got
That's
knocked,
big.
so he's not at 100%, and then you've got Kyle Walker who's not at 100% as well.
Yeah.
I would have said if you do the back five thing, Kyle Walker at right wing back.
Would you
and
change
then Stones at right
better
centre
question?
back.
Would you, if you're England manager going into this game, because we've touched on it but we've not addressed it directly, you're going against France.
First half, yes.
You go to the
I
back
am
five.
Talk
to me, why?
After what I've seen the entire tournament,
Go on.
the whole theme the entire tournament has been chock the block for first half, see it to 0-0, and then second half come out.
Yeah.
I've seen every underdog team and even some of the dominant teams take up this method, and it's worked every single time, because teams tire in the second half. You have 5 subs to make, and if you've actually got quality on the bench, that's where it's going to make the
plus
difference.
the
So for
reality
me,
is, bro, there's no standout team at this World Cup. There's no team that you should really just be scared shitless of.
So for me, I think Mbappe, you just do what Serbia did to Neymar.
Yeah.
We are going to kick 7 different colours out of you, and we're going to have 6 bookings by the end of the first half. Then I'm going to make 3 or 4 changes, and that's how we're going to win the game. For me, I think second half, England are more than capable of switching their plan.
got
They've
depth
shown
as
the
well.
4-3-3 throughout the tournament. You've shown you can play with the back five. Play with the back five first half. Second half, just say, you know what? Kyle Walker's not really fully fit, or Stones ain't fully fit. Get one midfielder
What about
in there,
you,
and
Liz?
then voila.
In terms of what method should they take, how many subs
Yeah.
should they make, I would like to see them go with a similar team as tonight. I am of the belief that England can get at this France team, and the biggest mistake they could make is giving them too much respect and
I
changing
agree.
their entire game plan. I'm of the
I
belief that England can go at any one of these teams, and I look at Croatia in the past, I look at Italy in the past. Their downfall was, look, Italy, they were all over them, bro, and the minute they sat off and let them play, that was their downfall,
You know
bro.
what? I fully agree with everything you said, but I just think Mbappe is in that kind of mood where you actually have to game plan for him.
You game plan for him, but you don't game plan for the whole team. That's what I'm. Well, you
Yeah.
do, but you don't change the way you play for one player, in my opinion. You should change one setup, play Kyle Walker and maybe have Henderson there as like backup. But I'm not changing the entire way I play to a back five just because of one guy. And if it happens, Mbappe, bro, maybe I have to start worrying as a Messi fan, bro. You're that good, eh?
Bro, I genuinely think Mbappe is in that kind of mood where you do have to specifically
Party
game plan
moods,
for
bro.
him. But I do hear what you're saying. I
Yeah.
don't think France are a team that you should be scared of. You should be taking the game to
You
them.
respect them, but yeah, 100%.
But I think from what I've seen, even who was it in the group stage? I can't remember. They played someone in the group stage and they took the game to them, and I was like, oh,
Australia, Tunisia.
Okay,
It was
Tunisia.
their weaker
Even
team,
though
but
it was a
yeah.
weaker team, but I was just like, they can be got at. But I think
Yeah.
even as you said, there's holes in this team. So
Alright,
Look at the
cool.
other side too, by the way. Luke Shaw Dembele. That's another one that you'll want to look out for.
What I wanted to say now is what we're saying all of this Mbappe. We
got
still
another
have to
demon on
remember.
the-
Listen. He's healthy. He's hungry.
1v1, I would say Mbappe in moments is devastating, but 90 minutes, Dembele will
Usman.
be cooking you over and over and over and
His
over
name
again,
is
bro.
Usman.
Because Mbappe, there were periods in this game where I thought he was actually pretty poor. Like Matty Cash played as good as a game
Right.
as you can get against
Matty
Mbappe.
Cash was fuming.
Bro, he was
by the
fuming
end of
because,
the
bro, he played as good as he could. But Mbappe,
What
2
more can
moments,
you do?
you're dead, bro.
It's basically,
Yo,
you're
that
basically
is-
doing suicide for the whole
Yeah.
game. Just going.
Mad, man.
And he was still trying to get up to help his Polish team because ultimately, them man going forward ain't
What
great.
was it? I saw a diagram of Poland's game plan of Szczesny, save us. What is football? Lewandowski, save us. Basically, that was the entire game plan. It's like nothing in the middle, Lewandowski up front, Szczesny in the back. I was like,
Oh,
For real.
of course. But all right, before we go into the super chats, how do you think that I'm sticking to my pre-tournament thing, England semi-final, because I'm stubborn?
bruv, I can't lie to you, I had England semis.
Yeah, you did.
Mbappe, man.
I'm looking at it now like I don't know the way
Listen, the Rashford hand.
Senegal were moving in that first half for me gave me England could
Ibijibis.
mentally choke themselves out of it, if that makes sense. And then I look at the form Mbappe's in, bro. I always believe when players hit red hot at international tournaments, it's like you got the hot hand.
Yeah, of course.
And Mbappe's in that mood, and he knows himself.
The celebration, man.
I just feel like when you're doing
That's it.
bruv, the fact that they gave that Dion Dublin commentary as well,
Yeah.
ruined an iconic moment there.
I'm listening on Fox Sports. It's not much better over
It's
here,
like,
bro.
Yes, you know you're good. Yes, Mbappe. Yeah. I'm like, bruv,
Get back
we
to
just scored at the World Cup.
Get
Give
back
me
to
some
home
juice.
under the hunt, my man. Get out of here, man.
I got
But-
Stuart holding on my end, bro. It ain't much better over here.
So what you reckon? You reckon France?
I reckon. Yeah. I think it's going to be the
I
Mbappe
reckon.
show, and this is going to be the game where the English media, because they still don't fully.
Can he do it in the Premier
Can he
League
do it?
against Rings?
And I remember it was the same thing with
He
Zlatan.
was scared to come to
It
England.
was the same thing with Zlatan until he scored that slamming
The bicycle kick.
and then it was
What was it? Wait,
oh,
it wasn't just the bicycle kick. He scored-
Zlatan's good, you know. Oh my
Wait,
god,
who would've
the thing
guessed?
is,
What a
It
quality player.
wasn't just the bicycle kick. Didn't he score 4 goals in that game?
Yeah, he scored. He did a madness
basket-
against them. But it was like once you turn up against England, the
It's
British
like,
press
so
all of a sudden
so
like, you know
no,
what?
so-
You got it now. All right.
You figured us out.
Or you come to the Prem and you score against like Metham and those guys,
Yeah.
and shit, like Konsa and
Man said, "Man,
what is that guy's name
No,
from
I'm
Bournemouth,
not-
bro? Metham, bro. Come on. I saw you do it against Hummels and Boateng and Chiellini, but nah, you did it against Konsa. My fault. You have my
That's fine.
respect.
Who you going for?
Listen, man, I'm with Fuad. I think international tournament, knockout football in general is for the stars. I've always said that. 38-game season, it tells you the best player is the best manager. Knockout football tells you who the best player is. And England don't have a response to Kylian Mbappe. But I think it'll be a close game because I think England have something and France are there to be had if
I
you
think there's
Although-
gonna be a glitch in the matrix, man.
I
I'm
can't lie
telling
to you. Kane has finally woken up. 3 assists in the group stage.
now.
First goal
say,
in
you
the
didn't
first
speak on
knockout
that.
game.
Welcome, you finally arrived.
Hey, they say we
Shit,
finally
guy
arrived.
finally scored.
We were feeding in the group stage. We let the rest eat.
Feeding hype.
Because you know,
man.
group stage is like
We're saying what,
it's-
Rashford thing?
when you got the poor opposition. So it's like, hey, Rashford, you've been feeding the kids. Let me feed you now. Hey, Saka, you look like you ate a meal or two. Here you go. You can eat. Now it's my turn to eat. The king has arrived. Listen, that might be for me the only surprise factor in the England plan.
I'll be honest with you. I think for me, we've talked about the whole Southgate thing, and we'll move on from it because we've got another sort of salad bracket to talk about. I genuinely hope, more than even think, I hope that this is the moment where he goes, I'm not a victim anymore, man. I'm ready for the big game.
He has to, yeah.
Like, saying Southgate has to rise is like, but like, bro, you have to show us something. Like, you've done everything right. Like, don't be the main, like, get past that hurdle. You can do it. And I feel like Rashford will have a big part to play now. I can't lie. Like, Rashford, for what it is, people can say that, you know, ultimately people are trying to hype up his season because obviously Sancho's been in the dirt. He's doing something. But Rashford's big game record does speak volume.
Yeah,
It does.
sure.
You've seen it. And yes, the Mbappe head pat and everything. But Rashford's shown that. Rashford's... What, do I start him? No, I think Rashford for this sort of game is like, listen, get him! You know that? You know that? He's sitting on the bench. He's sitting on the bench like that.
You know that video of Simeone when he sees Messi substituting or whatever and he starts celebrating? Mbappe is going to be celebrating 1-0 if he sees Rashford.
Because you know there's small things, yeah. Footballers like egomaniacs.
Yeah.
You know there's small things that will get in the head. Just see Rashford just warming up and Mbappe back. It's like Ghana missing that penalty. Their heads just went, fuck. I think there's something in it. That for me. But yeah, man. Let's go to the other side. We start with
I was
this.
going to say, you want to do the super chats?
Let's go super chats, then we go to the other side.
Michael here with a £5 super chat says,
Ooh.
England's best chance versus France is to play a back five of Trippier, Kyle Walker, Harry Maguire, John Stones, Luke Shaw, midfield 3 of Bellingham, Foden, and Rice, and just Rashford and Kane up front. Unless Kylian decides to try hard for like 2 minutes. Then I guess there's no hope, I guess. And then support says, Griezmann, is he the best international player of his generation?
Best
You
international
know what?
player of
Yeah,
his
I would have
generation.
always thrown Thomas Muller in there, but he's disgraced himself.
Think about it, bro. Griezmann, player of the tournament at the Euros, bronze ball at the World Cup winner. I think he was the second top scorer at the World Cup too, and now he's balling here. Maybe he's not the best because I can't lie. Mbappe is
I think he's top 10, top 5 potentially.
of his generation. He's
Yeah.
definitely top 5.
Right, so
I would say of his
Mbappe-
generation because he started 2014. Griezmann. Since then, is he the best international?
What
player?
is his generation?
I would say since he
Anything
started,
in the
since he
tens.
made his
Anything in the
debut.
tens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Who else was balling around that time?
I think he's up
Thomas
there.
Muller would be the only one I'm thinking of, but he
Yeah.
would have been like 2010 to 2014.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way: Griezmann's got a World Cup. The Euros they got smoked out.
I think it might be. It's definitely a conversation.
It's a
to have.
conversation. I
Of
can't.
his generation, right? Because I don't include Iniesta.
Yeah,
That's
no,
the generation
it's,
before.
it's his generation.
Yeah.
Muller's Germany in his stretch.
KDB,
If that's the same
Hazard,
thing,
I'm trying to think of
no,
the big
they're
dogs.
not. They're not
Neymar.
there.
Neymar's,
They're not there.
yeah.
Like,
Neymar, they won it
who
without
stepped
him.
up for Spain in the last 8 years?
Nah,
Who stepped
Spain
up
in
for
his
Germany?
generation, no.
The people that stepped up on the generation before, slightly.
Yeah.
So there's a
I would
shout.
say his biggest competitor is Mbappe, to be honest with you.
It might be.
You know what? That's a good question. Let us know in the comments what you think.
Modric,
I like that
maybe.
kind of super chat, man.
That's a good chat.
Send another one. Put 2 more. Get more.
Young TT says, I thought Cams was a real man, common flu, and this guy's calling in sick.
Bruv!
Live your raps, bro.
I'm liking that the chat is clocking. All that real man stuff. It's all this, yeah? You see
Listen.
me? Too fucked today. I'm here. No running. No medication.
We live,
either.
baby.
We live.
We live, baby.
Real men.
Like we said, 20% off. Manscaped, STTV. We started like this. It's only right we go into it. Netherlands.
Put that shit on. Put that shit on. Hey.
Can we go back to that question of Griezmann? Because someone just gave me a good shout.
Go on.
Alexis Sanchez.
Yup.
2 Copa Americas, led Chile to, I think, around 16 at the World Cup. That's a decent show. I don't mind that. I don't mind that whatsoever.
I'm sure there'll be a couple in there that
They're saying Pogba. Some of these guys are saying Pogba.
Get the hell out of here. Pogba's ahead of him. Yeah, sorry. How dare we? That's the number 1 international player. What the hell? Paul
You guys are
Pogba
saying
in the
Cruz,
France kit?
Thomas Cruz.
Hey, Tony Cruz is another one. Even when they got dumped out in that tournament, he was still balling.
Do you remember the free kick?
Bro,
Do you remember the free kick?
Hey,
Oh
that
my
World
gosh.
Cup win, he was arguably the standout player for me. You had Muller, of course, as well, and then you had Ozil, but... Nah, for sure.
Cam said this: when Rashford warms up, Mbappe's gonna look over and be shook like when LeBron saw Kawhi in the finals.
Oh, shit, man.
That's hilarious. Yo, take it away though, bro.
Listen, man. Let's get into the other side. We start at that. You are our Dutch correspondent. You call them dark horses. We've been talking about LVG, Last Dance. We've been talking about the pie getting into the mix and everything. 3-1 victory against USA. There were moments where USA were trying a little something, you know.
Give us a few scares.
Talk to me about how you're feeling about this Netherlands team, how they've developed, this game against Argentina. Like, where are you at with this team right
Do you know it's weird? It's international football. So I always say with international football, you don't judge a team off the brand or style of football they play. For us, it's with Holland, because they're so intrinsically tied to that, it's almost like you always expect them. And I knew prior to this tournament we weren't really going to play like that. I've just been more impressed with how like efficient we are, in my opinion. We're not kind of, I feel like, creating free-flowing chances. In that game, we probably created more than we normally do. But the fact that we put them away 3 like that, I was like, all right. The fact that Memphis Depay is now getting involved and getting more fit as well, I think is a huge thing. I think people look at Depay at club level, and it's one of these things, international players, when we talk about it. I think he's got 22 goals in his last 24 matches for Holland.
He's the second top goal scorer in a country that literally produces some of the best attackers we've ever seen.
Bro,
you know how crazy that is?
Absolutely crazy. And for me, I feel like this team is actually, really playing for the manager. Like, genuinely, I've never seen such team cohesion in the Netherlands. And this is why I said
you were saying that there's always like butting heads
falling out. But this is why I said I feel like we're almost dark horses, and no one is even like talking about us as being potential winners. And I think that's doing us good, because it's like, oh, we can just go along and have fun. And I said, if we get to the quarterfinals, cool. I feel like that's where, a nice stage for us for where this squad is at right now. And it's like seeing people like Xavi Simons now get his debut as well. I'm like, that gives us a little something for the future. I want to see Now Lang get minutes as well. But I've been pleasantly surprised with this Holland team, to be fair. I think group stage we looked underwhelming, but in that game, that was what I expected. Get through USA, don't make hard work of it, and get it done simple. And I felt like we made easy work of it, man.
Who is the most impressive player? Who's been the most impressive player for you this tournament?
I think it's undeniable to say Gakpo, I think.
You didn't say anything about Dumfries' performance, though?
Do you know what it is with
Dumfries is on his mic on bag right now.
Bro,
popping up back post.
Listen,
because
is another
people
one,
have spoken about him
back-to-back
before.
international tournaments now. We need to look at it. He's put in top performances where he actually dominates guys on that right-hand side. And for me, I think it's almost like I'm a little bit used to it in a sense of I always see Dumfries and I'm like, this is the same old thing. But I like that he's showing at this stage.
People were waiting
what
for this
he can
performance,
do.
though.
Yes,
People were waiting for
a
this.
performance like this. The thing is I always think with Dumfries here is he never puts in these performances when it's like the big game. So it's like against USA, he'll put up a mad one like this. I remember last year in the Euros was at Ukraine, he put up a mad performance. And I'm like, it's against these Mikalenkos and these Serginho Dest. I know you can batter these, man. But then, for example, when he came up Ecuador against Estupiñas, who is, physical just like him, I was like, Estupiñas gave him a game. So I think that's the problem with Dumfries. It's just that little bit of quality when it gets to that upper
Do you think it's
echelon.
quality, or do you think it's one of those things where it's not mental,
quality.
but you think it's just a
it's a
quality?
quality thing because physically, mentally, this guy will run through a brick wall. I love his mentality. Even like man of the match.
I said I like his mentality.
I think technically is where
technically for me, and I think he's just one of those guys. He's heavy-footed. You're never gonna get that. He's never gonna have the touch of a dove, and he's always gonna be lead hammer.
But for what he is,
embrace it.
Works.
Embrace it. And I've said, we're dying for a right wing back at Spurs.
I've been saying this. Conte, you all know I'm not a huge Conte fan. Dumfries is a Conte right wing back,
and
bro.
You know what? We've been linked with him for the last 6 months.
Brother,
and I'm like,
he'll ball out for you guys.
I'm like, technically, because you know what it is? After seeing Emerson for so long, I'm like, I need a little bit more technical.
Anything will do.
Anything will do. But this guy, I know, once he gets in the box, he's actually a threat. He actually contributes, whether it's goals, assists, putting the ball in dangerous areas. Yeah, so for me, I'm really happy for him, man. And another one as well, I'll be honest, Daley Blind.
Yes.
Let me give him his shoes because he was someone who I was like, hey, man, get him out the side. This guy's got a pacemaker on the left. He can't be doing my wing back duties. And he's got a great end product, but he's not mobile enough. So for him to get up there, get involved, get a goal as well, I was like, you know what?
No, he does enough.
His father did his thing 20 years ago. Now, you know what I mean? Like father, like son. As
you know who you didn't mention, and I was hoping you would. Nathan Ake for me has had an exceptional tournament.
Because you know what it is? I don't want to seem like I'm doing all the...
I'll do it for you.
Please.
Nathan Ake, everyone looks... I mean, first of all, I keep mentioning it. It's so funny to me. I grew up on the Dutch sides with Van Persie, Schneider, Robin, Van der Vaart, and you always look at the Dutch defenses and what lets them down. You have like some no-names.
And for once, we're stacked.
For once, it's the opposite, in fact. I mean, now you have Gakpo and Depay, but they're not of that caliber, right? You were playing Bergwijn and Janssen in the beginning. But you look at the back line for the Netherlands, there's some great individuals there. I mean, De Ligt can't buy a game for the Dutch right now.
Rightly so. Did you see him in that game?
Of course, bro. But Nathan Ake, for me, right? Everyone talks about Pep elevates players and makes them look better than they are. I think Ake has gone there and become a much better player, period. But I think he's been the best defender, the best defensive player at the Netherlands this year.
Bro, I feel like he's been one of the best defensive players at the tournament.
I would absolutely agree.
Since he's moved to City, it's been something where every time I see him come into the City line, I'm like, oh, there's the weak link. He's going to make a mistake. And I watch City play. He never puts a foot wrong. And I'm like,
take it back then.
Huh?
You said that Pep doesn't improve defensive players.
Do you know what?
That
is old school stop. That I think bro.
This
was
old school stoppage.
The first month of stoppage.
No, it's not the first month,
bro. This wasn't
the first month.
This was.
It wasn't Alcazar.
This was Alcazar.
This was Wimbledon.
This was PK.
Nah, this was Wimbledon.
This was PK.
We were in the trenches.
Anyway, we move past that. Aki, we'll go back to that. Yeah, lovely player. I think one of the defenders of the tournament.
Yeah, I agree.
Very underrated at Man City, and I think this is the kind of tournament where we say players can elevate their status. For me, he's one of those guys elevating his status. People were talking about Virgil van Dijk. Can he make himself the world's best centre-back again at this tournament? I'm telling you now, this guy has been babied and covered in this tournament. almost cost us in that third game.
Yeah.
Jurriën Timber and Aki either side of him, supreme.
They've been good. They've been supreme. I like that. I agree.
What do you make of your chances against
Argentina? Against my man.
Alright, number 10. Come outside. We got something for you.
Speaking of Argentina, right?
Yeah.
Because we packed that thing too. We packed that thing too, man. Oi, este mes yo soy de Argentina, de Buenos Aires.
You what?
I'm tapping my heart like that.
We got a French show. Talk about estupidez.
Este mes
en todos partidos.
Yo soy de Buenos Aires.
Stick.
Hey, get the fuck
Hey, man, are we talking Argentina or we're still on Netherlands?
No.
Argentina.
Let's go Argentina.
Let me go crazy with it.
Argentina.
Listen, man.
I keep hearing about this. Oh, Messi, he's playing for his legacy. He's got to beat Mexico. He's got to beat Poland. Is he the GOAT if he does that? Can he score? I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know, man. Put some respect on my guy, bro. He's quietly having a terrific tournament. The first game got his penalty, but he didn't play well against Saudi Arabia. I would be a fool and a liar to say he played well against Saudi Arabia. But since then, bro, he is putting in performances that I didn't actually think he was capable of anymore. That run against Australia where he dribbles like 6 players, I didn't thought he had that anymore.
Do you know when it clicked to me?
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the Australian player, yeah? Messi chased down the ball and barged this guy off the pitch.
Yeah.
I said, my God.
He got one more in him.
My God.
This is his last dance, bro.
I said, you sit. I was like, oh my God. I said, we might, one more. And then he scored a goal. And I said, yeah, he means it. He means it. But this is before the tournament. I said, he's going to give everything and everyone around him is going to do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Lautaro Martinez and some of the guys in that team
I
are trying to sabotage. They are trying to sabotage.
I thought my days of sabotaging Argentine number 9s were done, bro. Higuain retired. I'm free.
I can't lie to you. This is one of the reasons why I'm kind of in this game a little bit, you know. Because I don't even think it has to be Holland to knock Argentina out.
Argentina themselves.
Can knock Argentina out by doing what they did in the group stage, playing within themselves.
Yep.
And then you see them agents, Lautaro. I tweeted out yesterday. He has taken the mantle of Higuain as
brother.
Is anyone going to let Messi down?
I got you.
I will.
Hey,
I will.
Oh, these Inter strikers, Lukaku and Lautaro. Boy.
You know when J. Cole said, I can't believe I let Nas down. that's going to be Lautaro.
But hold on, let's talk about his replacement, Julian Alvarez.
Ooh.
How many clubs on the planet can claim to have Julian Alvarez as your backup striker? This guy starts for 18 out of the 20 teams in the Premier League, by the way. Spurs and City are the only ones he doesn't start for.
Yeah.
He is a gunman. He's a killer. He's powerful, too. That's another thing. Alvarez is very young, right?
Yeah.
The aggression and the speed and the hunger he plays with is remarkable, man.
Yeah.
And that City, he's been kind of almost underused, you would say, since he's come in. Because I felt like when
If you
Pep
have a
brought in
Haaland, why would you use
Jesus,
him?
he was throwing him in the deep end. But I mean, even out wide, beside Haaland, or even maybe in a 2, tweak the system. But I just feel like in this tournament now, taking the throne. I think Lautaro started the first game, had a stinker. Since he's come in, basically, they haven't looked
And
back.
the thing is, bro, Messi keeps trying to feed him, get him hot, get him going. Bro.
I can't lie to
Did you see yesterday when Lautaro came on and Messi fed him twice? He missed both. And then the third time, Messi said, nah,
Yeah,
I'm going
fuck
home.
that.
What killed me about the game though, was I think it was second half. 'Cause, who did he take off? Then he brought on the butcher, didn't he? So what kind of substitution?
He took off an attacker and brought on Papu Gomez and brought on.
So what kind of
Lisandro.
substitution is this?
He went back 3.
He went
No,
back 3.
and I was like, what kind of negativity? And I was like, oh, you know what?
As
I
soon
wasn't
as they
familiar
went
with your
to that,
game.
they opened up a lot more.
I said I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm sorry, man. I got it wrong. I got it.
Here's what I'll say about Argentina,
You're
though.
an apology to as well. Well, maybe not an apology
me?
per se, but I think the Paul. You were a little harsh on him in the group stage, and yesterday
I wasn't harsh. I
bossed
said
that.
the performance.
he bossed that yesterday.
No, but I said
ball,
that.
yeah,
I said
yeah,
that specific.
I didn't see any
Boss that.
my AVI with the Paul versus. I didn't see that shit in the
No, I didn't cook him,
because
though.
they were doing up. You know, he's a lap dog and he's a little
No, I
enforcer,
didn't
and
cook
I'm
him.
like, I like the Paul, man.
Yeah.
They're doing him too hard.
He's not at his
I just said
best,
that particular performance was whoa.
Nah, even before
Whoa.
the tournament, he was like, "Hey, this guy's just Messi straight dog, man."
No, because of the meme.
He's a bodyguard. That was
Bouncer
it.
hype.
Because of the meme. Because of the meme.
Yeah, they said a monster hype.
Yeah, because of the
Listen to
meme.
bouncer hype, bro.
Because Messi put his hands up there, he went like this.
Hey, respect the
No,
Paul,
but he's a
man.
good player.
Nah,
He's a great player. In
the
fact.
thing with DePaul is like before he came to Atletico Madrid at Udinese, he was like, bro, he was a creative demon. He had some of the best creative numbers in Europe.
What tournament was it?
Simeone, bro, he's a
No, but was it the Copa
I was gonna call him a
America?
cancer. He's terrible, bro. Oh my god.
Was it the Copa America where he went insane?
Yeah, he had a great
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, and then he made the move, and then it was like, oh.
This is what I want to say about Argentina, right? They have a lot of flaws. The fact of Argentina is when Di Maria is not there, they don't have any forwards anymore that can take a defender outside, inside, speed, can run past you. Di Maria is the only one they got. And even Di Maria these days is not at his best. But one thing about Argentina, and this is what Cam had reasons for calling Argentina his favorites. Of course, he wants to put pressure on Messi, but he saw something, and it's their grit. Argentina they like to suffer. They have traits of the Atletico Madrid team. If they can score the first goal in a game against the better teams and then kind of sit in their shape and make shit hard and gritty and make it a dogfight, they can trouble a lot of teams. And especially against the Dutch. If they can get the first goal against them, they can cause the Dutch a lot of problems.
If they dominate, in my opinion, if they win that middle of the park area, where if Enzo Fernandez
that's
gets
another
to
one.
grips with Frankie de Jong, whoever wins the duel out of that two for me wins the game. Because if that's where I feel like our weakness is, that's where a lot of our space is. Defensively and out wide, I think we're kind of packed in, and Argentina won't break us down there. And I think fullbacks wise as well, they're not the strongest. Even though Molina got the little assist, I'm not convinced on them. Yeah, him and Acuna.
This is what I'm hearing about Sterling, by the way. Sterling's house was robbed back in the UK,
Wow.
and he's left Qatar. He may come back though.
He may.
Ooh, hey man, shout out to him.
Crazy.
Man.
Yeah,
Hope everything's okay. But I think I think if Argentina win that midfield battle, Argentina, that's where they're gonna win.
I will say this though. I think if Argentina go behind,
Prediction.
I think
it's done.
I'm gonna say Argentina just because those are my guys, man. Leo, come on, get it done.
well,
But I'm scared, bro. I'm scared. I can't lie. I'm nervous, Max. I'm nervous, Max. Argentina win. Argentina win 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
I'm going Argentina, man. Like I had them to win the tournament. I just feel like you were talking about Mbappe in the script. I just feel like the script would be too powerful. And like you said, with Netherlands going at this stage, it's not a...
I'm telling you, the script ain't for Messi. The script is for Mbappe. This World Cup script has nothing to do with Messi. We're trying to force the Messi narrative.
I will love it.
I will touch
I
on
will
that
love
another
it.
day.
And I think I
deserve it.
Can they get each other in the
Nunez
final?
are the ones running the narrative,
Can
but
they get each other in the final?
Of course. Messi's on the left,
I would
bro.
say-
If they do that, PSG have won.
hey,
Bro.
PSG have
PSG
won.
winning regardless.
We bring in a
100%.
Ballon d'Or one way. Neymar, Messi, Mbappe.
They
Bring
said,
that shit over here.
coming. I'm telling
Bring
you.
that shit over here.
I'm going 2-1 Netherlands.
Woo!
I'm going,
I see
and
play.
I didn't expect us to get here, but now we're here in the way we have. And last game, I saw flaws in Argentina where I was like, we packed that thing too, you know.
I hear it.
Let's see. So for me, 2-1, I think I'll go Holland surprise and then a surprise crash. Because what will happen is we'll get to the semis and everyone starts saying, hey, Holland.
Yeah,
They can win.
Brazil, and then Brazil, and then
boom,
Brazil.
boom.
Crash.
That's one thing I want to say, right? Whoever wins this tie, unless Brazil gets shocked, I think Brazil are going to the final. I think whoever wins this tie goes out to Brazil.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Brazil. In fact, STTV, 20% off. You know what to do. Go and do that. We've got any super chats to go into?
Yeah, we do have a few actually.
Let's go.
If I can find them real quick. Yeah, we got a bunch.
Yeah, let's go through them, man.
The first one I see is my agendas run strong. Can't have Neymar, Van Dijk, or Connor Cody winning a World Cup.
Hey, yo.
That's the first time. That's the first time Neymar, Van Dijk, and Connor Cody have all been mentioned in the same sentence, bro. That's crazy.
Drop another comment. I need to know who you support. Why?
Oh
what?
my god.
That's crazy
That's
hating.
a purebred hater.
Natty Boy leaves another one too, saying McAllister looks like a superb player as well. Top 6 bound. I think
Hey,
McAllister is looking really good, bro. I can't lie.
Can't lie to you.
You're not vibing with McAllister.
I am not moved in the slightest.
real?
I am not
I
moved.
think he's changed Argentina since he came in.
I think I agree.
But
But,
is he
I also
of a
think
level?
people are doing you know the tournament flavour. You know that thing that
McAllister's
happened.
been good for Brighton, though.
Is he
remember-
signing that? You sign him.
You remember
and it
Jonathan
gets off.
Pantsil, 2006 Ghana tournament, got the full of move.
Long sleeve,
Yeah,
short sleeve.
yeah. Every tournament, there's a few of these man that play for certain teams around certain ballers, and then everyone starts going, "Hey, you could do." McAllister lands a big 6 move. I'm telling you.
I think he's good for Spurs. Spurs' move is a good level.
Why do you lot do this all the time? You see, my mic even doesn't want to tolerate.
Because you guys are the you guys are the
Stop
gap
this.
between the
Stop
top
this.
4 and the rest of the league, bro.
Hey, you lot on the buffer zone, that limbo zone.
We might join you soon there.
Aye,
We might
aye,
join
aye.
you soon there. But you know,
No. Keep McAllister away, man. We've got Bentancur. Don't joke with that one.
Speaking on the Netherlands USA game, besides Tyler Adams, who on the US has a high ceiling for you guys?
Giovanni Reina.
If they'd play him,
Giovanni Reina. I don't
like-
know what the
I
hell is
like
happening.
Musa.
Musa.
Yeah, Musa.
I like
is one.
Musa.
Yunus Munsa.
Yeah, I like him.
yeah.
I like him.
And hey, their goalkeeper, the one at Arsenal, Matt Turner.
Yeah, he
Good
had a
tournament.
very good
tournament.
tournament.
Yeah,
He had a very good tournament.
Bruv.
He had a very good
I
tournament.
couldn't believe some of the saves he was pulling
he
off in that
played really
first
well.
half. I was like, what's going on here?
You know his story, right? He was playing like baseball. He wanted to be a baseball player until he turned like 16. I think he
Yeah.
watched the World Cup in 2010 and like
got inspired.
to become a goalkeeper, and now he's playing for Arsenal and the national team. Shit is crazy, man.
Oh, I got a similar story like that, but he'll be my champ at the end.
I thought you were gonna tell me your story.
Ndai. Senegal.
Yeah.
Ndai.
Cuz,
Yeah,
we'll
no,
talk
we'll
on
get
that
into it, we'll get
later,
into
yeah.
it.
Quality.
What are you saying about? That's it though. For
That's it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Let's go into some of the knockout games we've got. Japan, Croatia.
Japan.
Arigato.
You're dripped in blue.
Yeah, talk
I
to
want
us
them
about
to
your
do it,
thoughts.
man. They've got nice technical ballers. They've done well to
I thought
get
he was going
through.
to say they got nice kit there. We're gone.
Man, they got that script. No,
Japan,
no,
they
no.
always come through with nice kits. I can't.
Yeah,
lie.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately Croatia, they just have this sort of tournament heritage in it. Like that midfield is overpowered. But again, if Japan play the team that they're supposed to play, not these stupid substitutions, it could be a good game.
What do you mean super substitutions? Because it's worked so far.
No, but it's like, why are you suffering for? You don't need to suffer. You don't need to suffer.
You mean sufferball that helped them beat Germany and Spain?
No, but it was that it could have been so much easier. It could have been so much easier.
As our beloved esteemed colleague says, the proof is in the puds.
Nah, man.
Proof is in the puds. We're
can't-
here now. For
you
me,
can't listen.
if I'm Japan,
You're gonna
I
run
play
it again?
suffer ball. And I look at Croatia and I'm like, who are you going to bring? Kramaric.
He's got
Bring
2
him.
goals.
Against Canada, it doesn't count.
Bring
bro.
Lavaja as well.
Everyone has 2 goals against us, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Man, I said, us, how many teams you
Croatia-
supporting, bro?
No, that's the motherland. Come on.
Croatia are that they're on their last legs.
Yeah.
I feel like you.
Subs could work, but ultimately, the reason why I say it is because I think the Spain and Germany game we're talking about, they won those games with 20% possession. That is not a sustainable
the
model,
lowest
bro.
in World Cup
history twice. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's great that you done it.
Speak to Conte. Speak to Jose. Trust me. You can win games without controlling the ball.
Listen,
Possession ain't everything, as forgot her name. The French pundit. I forgot her name, man. But she said anyway, you don't win games by controlling possessions. You win game by efficiency.
Loads of people have said it.
Yeah.
So it was the French woman pundit, though.
Yeah. I can't remember her
Put me
name,
on.
man. On BBC. Black lady.
I don't watch BBC. I'm telling you,
see?
Fox
But-
Sports. They
no, it's
give me Landon Donovan. They give me Clint Dempsey.
Croatia should do it.
I think that is the most even tie within the next round.
yeah,
I genuinely can't call that one.
Yeah.
Either
But
one
I
can
look
go
at
through.
the midfield for
That's
Croatia,
what
right?
I'm saying.
Brozovic, Kovacic, Modric.
That's
Bro,
overpowered.
that's
man.
class.
Have you
man.
seen them Japanese workhorses in there?
No, Japan is excellent. Japan is always slept on. I keep saying every tournament, no one expects them or South Korea to do anything. They always end up in the round of 16 minimum.
Yeah.
But I think Croatia, the experience and Modric, man, in these games, he always rises. So
Predictions.
I predict Croatia.
I'm going Japan on my sweepstake team, so I'm going.
You might as well.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Japan to cause a surprise.
Yeah.
Because I think people will expect Croatia with that midfield
Yeah.
to do them, and I think Japan have just got it figured out.
Come on,
Cheers.
man. Brazil, South Korea. Neymar's been back in training, right?
Yes, we're back.
This is
no,
the-
they're
this
expecting to start.
This is
Okay,
the match fitness
and
game.
Ultimately,
Get your match fitness up.
Yeah.
Because the
And-
next one's a serious one.
Yeah.
ultimately, like I should have said at the top, obviously prayers with Pele. Obviously, they said that
Yeah,
he was put in
yeah.
care and he's moved out. They said he's feeling strong and everything. But we talk about teams having something to play for and everything. That is the ultimate thing to play for.
Yeah.
I find it very difficult not seeing Brazil being energized by that. Like, there's not much more to say on that. South Korea are gonna try. Some will have to have the game of his life, but
Hey, man. Last group game, he turned up. Fair play
he
to him,
did.
man.
He did. He did. Got
Brazil's
this-
too much, though. Brazil's too much.
They packed
in
that
my
thing,
opinion.
man.
Real
Yeah,
talk.
man. They packed many things.
But,
One thing I will say though, South Korea's left back. I keep forgetting his name, but I know he's 30 years old. I know he plays for some team in South Korea, but bro, that guy's got a whip on his crosses, bro. The South Korean left back. Hey,
Isn't it
come into a
Kim?
club near you in England, bro.
Bro, that was like Mikalenko last year in the Euros.
Yeah.
I remember when we played, I was like, "Who is this demon
guy,
with
yeah.
the left peg?"
But you know
And then he
Ukrainians
moves to
are
Everton.
technicians anyway.
And I was like, "Yeah."
Ukrainians are it's the funniest national team. Everyone's left-footed. Everyone's technical efficiency is
so
through the
true,
roof.
you know. They've
But
got
there's
so many
no
left-footers.
pace. There's no pace in the team. It's
How
like
you a nation? Your best two players are left backs, bro. Zinchenko and what's his name, Mikolenko.
Mudryk.
Who?
Mudryk.
Yeah, that's true. They got the Ukraine, the white boy
But
Neymar.
remember, but you have, white boy
White boy
Neymar.
Neymar.
But
I
you have
just
to
hope
remember,
he doesn't end up
Yarmolenko
at
held them
Arsenal,
down
man.
for years.
Is it?
Yarmolenko held down
Oh, yeah,
Ukraine
yeah.
for
Yeah.
years.
Ukrainian
with
Robin.
the same move, coming,
yeah.
cutting, whip.
We held that last tournament. Literally, he hit us with that 30-yard slammer.
Man, Morocco, Spain.
Ooh, that's a territorial Mediterranean
Facts,
beat right
facts,
there.
facts,
Ooh.
facts. Get it
I
back
like
in
that
balance.
one. Yeah,
That's a hummus derby, innit?
Yo.
That's a hummus derby right there if I've ever seen one.
Because Spain, right?
Bear olives.
Cam should take credit for this one because Cam, after the 7-0, was saying, "This guy said bear olives. You're a joker." Cam was saying after the first game, Spain, right? It was brilliant, but I'm not convinced yet. I have to see it against more serious teams more consistently. And I think it's fair because you look at the game now against Germany, where they were good in periods, but ultimately Germany could have won that game. And then against Japan, where they looked devoid of ideas for an entire 45 minutes. Japan went 2-1 up. Spain keep the ball 90% of the time, but it goes back to what I'm saying, bro. Asensio doesn't start for Real Madrid. Ferran Torres doesn't start for Barca. All of their forwards are kind of lackluster, bro. And Morocco really showed something in that group stage. I know it wasn't the toughest group, but Ziyech looks like he's finally getting back to his Ajax levels. Boufal looked great. How many countries can claim to have fullbacks of the caliber of Hakimi and Mazraoui on either side?
It's a cheat code.
Amrabat in the middle.
It's a cheat
Morocco
code.
got problems.
The thing with the
I like
Ziyech thing as well, yeah, is again players having something to prove. This guy didn't go national team because he had beef with the manager. New manager, alright, cool. We cool.
Hype.
That's a
Alright,
shout,
cool,
actually. I completely forgot about that. He was actually banned from the national
Yeah,
team.
he said, I'm not-
Halihodzic, he used
I
to
don't
be
mess with this guy. I'm not
Algeria.
going. New manager comes in, man possessed.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Possessed.
crazy.
He has
I
the
swear to you,
freedom.
One of the best players of this tournament.
Definitely.
As well. Some of
Yeah.
the goals he scored as well
Yeah.
been incredible. I said, yo, he's got that.
Bro, I was like,
top
bro,
tissue.
I think
You're
for me, I always said though, like he's a player that when you give him time and space, like he can really
Dangerous,
do well.
yeah.
I always saw in the Premier League, I don't think it'll ever work out for him. I think he needs to move on from Chelsea in general. But international football, some players just thrive in that kind of environment. And Ziyech is
I can't lie to you though, that Amrabat kid as well.
It's Noorden's brother, bro.
Noorden's brother,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
his
but
brother.
he was linked with us, I think, in the summer. And I remember thinking,
Weren't people thinking-
Fiorentina's
people
third choice
thought-
midfielder, I'm not sure.
He's taking
but
a leap this
I
year.
remember at AFCON, I was
Yeah.
like, he looks all right. And then now at the World Cup, he's looking the business as well. So.
That could be a tight game.
The thing with Morocco, right? El Nassiri, I don't trust him. up front.
El Nesri.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
Because was it last season he did well in La Liga, and then this season he's one of the reasons why Sevilla are drowning. So it's like,
I think I favor Spain a little, but Morocco.
No, you have to favour Spain, but it's like, again,
I think
can Morocco get an early goal? Can you get an early goal and can you make it interesting? That's the challenge for them. Can you make
They
it
have to make things. The way you beat Spain is the way you've beaten them the last 8 years. You have to make it uncomfortable for them. Don't let them. You can't sit back and just let them pass around you. You have to get in their face.
Yeah, 100%.
see.
And they've got the grit to do it. Portugal-Switzerland game for me is interesting because Switzerland are this team, at international level, people just disregard them because it's like, the nation, that kind of globalization FC take place from everywhere. But in terms of like, if you're talking about major competitions, in Europe, only them and France have got to this stage of the last 5 tournaments. They get through qualification, they do stuff. It's just about, for them, can they score the goals when it matters? That is the issue now, because they've done what they need to get for the group. It's too much.
It's too much.
If they had like another centre forward,
do you remember they had Seferovic? Do you remember what he did last year? Best we don't speak on that, bruv, criminal. But for me, I don't know. I think Portugal have too much quality in this one.
The form that Bruno's in.
Yeah, one of the players of the tournament.
But again,
I know that pains you to say that,
bro. It's a Man United
but
player.
embrace it.
So it's okay when Son does well after he's been killing him for the last few weeks.
What?
What?
What did you say Son for?
Because you've been killing Son for the last few weeks.
What's Son been doing in the Premier League? And I gave Son his flowers at the World Cup.
What? So
you don't want to give Bruno his flowers?
I just gave Bruno his flowers. I said he's one of the best players of the tournament.
Hey.
You bozo. This guy, man. Bruno's been balling out, man.
I'm gonna go out on a whim here. Yeah, I think Switzerland can do it.
They can. They definitely can.
I think Switzerland will do it.
I don't.
I don't think they will either, but they definitely can.
I think Switzerland will do it.
I think Portugal
Switzerland defensively, they're too strong to be washed, in my opinion.
I think
with that
Switzerland
back
will
three,
do it.
Fabian Schär and all them, man.
Listen,
Yes.
do you know?
Got a good keeper with Jan Sommer as well.
You said Bruno. You said Bruno. I got something for you.
Go on. Shaka.
Granite.
Oh, Shaka. Oh, we got Bernardo. We go for that.
Granite.
We go for that. We're gonna have Zakaria running around.
Bring him. Bring him. Zakaria.
No, I can't lie. I think
They won't even have an answer for Cancelo. What? What's this?
Nah, he needs to find an answer for himself.
Real talk,
Can't
bro.
like that right back shit.
You cursed him.
Hey, hey, he needs to find. No, you need to find an answer, brother.
Help him.
What you did to him since I need to find the date of when you tweeted that video.
Hey, yo.
Because
He needs
since
to wash
that
his
date,
hands.
I have not seen
Wash his
Cancelo
feet.
put down one good performance, not for Man City, not for Portugal. I've just seen him embarrass himself at every single level.
Good. I'm cursing City. I'm cursing
Wow.
Portugal. Good.
Wow.
Let me tell you though, Dallo, since he gets called up for Portugal, last game assist, game before that against Nigeria assist, and he's a better defender defensively than Cancelo. That might be a shout there.
Listen,
You would start?
that's all.
Dallo, I'd start Cancelo on the left. I'd play Dallo on the right, especially because Mendes now is injured. There you go. Tactical. I'm embracing now.
Bro, trust me.
Super chats. What you got in there?
Mazraoui's a right back playing at left back better than most world class left back. That sounds like me when I was talking about Cancelo. He's our left
Hey,
back playing
hey,
at right
careful
back.
now,
What's not to
careful
like,
now.
bro?
Careful now.
What's not to like with Mazraoui, man?
He was on a free in the summer as well, man.
Yeah, it's top player.
Keep
Right
us
there,
let you
bro.
got any more in there?
Nah, that's it so far.
Let us know questions because we're gonna go to question stuff. Anything? Few things we need to cover. It's not round of 16, but they happen in the time that we didn't record. Ghana, man.
Ghana, dirty December.
Ghana, man.
What happened?
Ghana, man.
Hey,
They deserve it. Let me tell you that right now. I'll tell you that for free. They deserve it this time. I was rooting for
100%.
them, man. I was really rooting for them to make it. And they get the opportunity, a penalty at that.
Bro.
Exert your demons. The one player
That
left
was
from
in
that
the
2010
side.
squad to take that penalty. Bro, the screenshot of him right before he shoots it is like the most comical screenshot I've ever heard. in my life.
Man said he took
You've
the
got
penalty like
Mohamed
this.
Kudus there, who's having a
took
tournament
the
of his
penalty like
life. Bro, you've got Mohamed Kudus there, who's having a tournament of his life. I feel like there were better players to take the penalty. But for some reason, Ghana have this obsession, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of the African countries do, with some of
Seniority.
these players, that seniority.
Yeah, him
you
and
get given, and I'm like,
It's a culture
you lot
thing.
will live and die by this. Culture hype, this is football.
It's not about cultures. The
Yeah.
federations, bro, they're so
Bro,
No, but it's part of the culture.
corrupt.
The politics
I'm like,
are-
bro,
it's part of
Mohamed
the culture.
Kudus should have taken that penalty, and that should have been his moment, in my opinion. Let the new generation exert the old demons, and let IU watch from the sideline. Yeah, because those two brothers after this now, they better never put on a Ghana kit.
They
Sent to Azkaban and shipped off, brother. I'm not joking. What the hell?
Yeah.
Because for me, in that game, that was all set up. The whole world was low-key supporting Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
When that penalty went and they all just started caving in, I said, hold on, man. Take it. Take it. And we have to talk about football's greatest villain. Football greatest heel. That man...
The performance
no starts before this game.
Brother, forget about starts. He forgot how to play football for 3 years, man.
Bro,
and then he's doing nutmegs.
I heard he was doing madnesses in the Uruguayan league.
Uruguayan league hype,
like
bro.
the Qatari. You don't watch that. They're gonna tell me you don't watch Uruguayan league, blood.
I said, what stream did you watch that on?
What Montevideo game are you watching, blood?
What stream was that on?
But then he gets, obviously, Uruguay said last game of the group versus Ghana. What are we gonna do? Hey, Suarez,
roll that shit
we
back.
got a plan for you.
Put that shit on.
Literally,
Put that shit on.
Hey, but
Hey,
no,
man.
and then you see he rolled it back to what, 15-16, 2 assists, and I think your tweet was perfect with that Dwayne Wade LeBron dunk, bro, 2 assists, and every time I'm gonna butcher his name, Giovanni de Arrascata.
Oh, number 10,
I had no clue who he was.
yeah.
I wasn't
Race
familiar
balled
with your
out,
game,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I'm familiar now.
I think he plays in Brazil.
Flamingo.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, but what a performance from Uruguay.
And
So-
do you know Somalia?
Sith Lord Luis
But it was
Suarez.
so
People back
Wait.
home were saying that he needs to start.
Yeah.
They pressured the coach to play him.
Bro, and the thing is, he got his moment. He had his time. He got substituted, and he thought, you know, when you're getting subbed off, I got them.
This guy says, bro, he's fueled by racismo and mate.
bro, I have never seen someone so fueled by racism. I was like, look at this man. The hatred is
Do you know
strong.
how mad it was? Yeah, when he did the nutmeg, I know he was thinking.
Oh my
Someone
God.
said, I don't even know what he said when he ran past him.
No, bro, do you know what I said? I said, I've never seen a individual be single-handedly colonized like Inaki Williams was colonizing that nutmeg. Bro, that was the most racist nutmeg I've ever seen. I swear.
It was so stiff as well.
Bro. No, but that's
You can see it
the
coming
Suarez
from-
nutmeg,
It
bro.
was the fact that he tried to close his legs and then it just went through it. And then I swear he shouted as well when he was nutmegging it. I said, nah, this guy's a villain.
That performance, the thing is, I remember there was a piece of
Poetic
analysis
though
done.
that he got dumped out.
No,
I can't lie to
100%,
you.
100%.
Poetic.
Like, it was great, but to touch on Ghana quickly, the reason why it frustrated me is because they went in the lowest ranked side. A lot of the African teams just sort of said like, oh, they're gonna get dusted and everything.
Yeah.
Ghana did so well, but the issue they had was, again, this whole culture thing of not playing the right players. Slimani should have got more games. Lamptey should have got more minutes. Mensah should have got more minutes. These players made differences, but each game they played, you concede 2 goals in quick concession all the time. And the one game where you can concede your 2 goals, but score the same goals that you did, because they scored 2 against. They scored 2 in each game, right? Apart from the final game.
Yeah.
Just do your. You can't score. You let the moment get too big. They deserve to go through. They could have won that group. But what happened? You let the moment be too big for you, and then you started celebrating because Suarez. Listen, I celebrated Suarez as well, getting dumped out. But you guys, there was a bigger picture. You guys could have gone further, and you guys messed it up.
Yeah, 100%. But the thing with Ghana is they're so young, right? And they have so much. Like,
they'll go again.
Yeah, they will go again, for sure.
But ultimately, it's not just about what's on the pitch. With a lot of African teams, it's about what's off the pitch as well. How can you really galvanize that?
course.
But fair play to them, and they tried, man. They tried, but I was so gutted because they deserved it. They deserved it. But it is what it is, man. But on the Suarez thing, oh my gosh, that guy, I have no words. Listen, there's hating,
Bro.
and then there's that hating.
Bro.
That level of hate to see.
Bro,
You know,
there was one moment, he was like, it's amazing. It's fucking amazing.
That's the
I
thing,
was
right?
like,
The whole storyline was
thrives.
like Ghana getting revenge, getting revenge. But they forgot there was another guy.
Bro.
Suarez has probably been replaying that moment in his life. Like, how can I get them back?
Yeah.
Bro, do you know what the worst thing is? I feel like
Before the
he
game.
didn't even hate them. I felt like Ghanaians hated him so much after that moment
Yeah.
where he was like, "Oh, you lot hate me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna show you lot something." Okay, say no
what,
more.
What I was
Say
saying
no more.
is, so there was these Ghanaian commentators. They did a piece of analysis on Mbappe saying that Mbappe, when he goes 1-on-1, even though you've got like your back four, everyone's so scared that everyone comes to him and is distracted. The Suarez goal involvement's exactly the same thing. Everyone saw and thought, kill him! And as soon as they went, there was just a sea. There was just a sea, and he's like, listen, you're mad at the wrong person. The ball's over there. They looked, oh my God, concede. So listen, man, fair play for the coach saying that, you know what, we need to do what needs to do. Are we going to do champion
resign,
nuts?
by the way?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He's the Dortmund assistant anyways. It was only like a short-term thing, I think.
Should we do Chamber Nuts?
Can I read one super chat that I actually missed it? It was about the England thing, but I missed it.
Go on.
England midfield is not... it's from Christy, so my fault, Christy. England's midfield is not passing the ball well enough. Saka and Foden have been decisive when they've had it, but England's midfield are struggling to pass forward, especially Rice. They got time for Rice today. God damn.
But you have to remember, I don't know how the best way to phrase it. The way England are playing this tournament, they're a counter-attacking, counter-press team. So the midfield's not getting a lot of the ball anyway. Yeah. They're just passing through transitions. So it's like, you'd want them to be better, more efficient on the ball, but more time, you're going from full back to wide, or you're going from centre-half to wide. You just get the ball up as quick as possible. So I understand it, and in the France game, it might concern me a little bit, but... we see how it goes. That's why they're getting away with it. They don't. If you were to look at a heat map of where they keep the ball, most of it's not in the midfield of the park anyway. It doesn't need to be there unless it's Kane. So, but should we do champ and duds? Because on that Uruguay stuff, there's a dud that I have to discuss.
Go on.
Darwin Núñez, you let me down,
bro.
Hey. Speak on it, because you were talking about voices this, voices I told him, bruv, ain't no voices in there.
Voices were silent.
The voices were on mute. The voices were going to voicemail.
No, but there was a moment the voices did wake up.
Oh, when he did the kick.
Did you see when they was taking a penalty? And all the Ghanaian players surrounded the penalty
I thought he was trying to get the ball.
Bro, he wasn't trying to
There was no ball there.
He was just trying to kick the dirt. I said, this guy's a psycho. He's got issues. But continue, sorry.
Darwin Núñez, you fooled us, man. You fooled us. Because at the end of the day, Cavani's going, Suarez is going, we'll try this and that, mix and match. Bro, you didn't show us anything, bro. Nothing. You showed nothing. You showed nothing. You showed nothing. You showed nothing. It's bad enough, Uruguay trying to do pass out the back and they're passing off for throw-ins. Okay, them man are duds. But I expect you, the golden boy, to do something. Bentancur tried something.
You know what I'm saying? Real ballers.
Valverde tried something.
Real ballers.
You did nothing, man. You let your country down. You're going to let Liverpool down as well.
Núñez, for me, was exposed a little this tournament, I think.
100%.
And I say that as someone who actually, I'm a fan of him. I'm not like a super fan. He's not one of my favorite players, but I like the way he plays. But I think this tournament in general has shown that he has a long way to go, and that he's great when the game is being played at 1,000 miles an hour and he can run on the last man and run at players and he's chaotic. But international football, where it's a bit slower and you need your center forward to be able to hold up the ball and get others involved and do things that a traditional number 9 has to do, I think he was schooled, especially by Pepe on match day 2.
Yes.
Pepe at 39 years old, his big age of 39, locked him up, had him in his pocket. And from Núñez, I expected, maybe not expected, but I wanted to see a little more. And I think, look, he's a very raw player in general. I think under Klopp, he'll get a lot better. He'll improve at that kind of stuff. But this tournament, for me, he was in good form before it. Was kind of like I'll be hold up a little bit.
This is that rawness. I feel like is now becoming like an excuse for Darwin Núñez.
Definitely.
And this was the issue that I had with Liverpool spending that kind of money on Darwin Núñez. I'm like, you lot are spending 80 to 100 million on a project that you need to build on a guy who's done it for one season in the Portuguese league, and then people are telling me, oh, but he's got all the raw tools to be there, and I'm like. Okay, but whilst you're going through that teething period, you're going to be ripping your fucking hair out because I've seen these types of players.
Definitely.
And now we're in a situation where if he's not scoring at Liverpool fans are cussing him. And at the world stage now, I feel like, as you said, 39-year-old exposing you. And even in all the other games, there were moments where I felt like, impose yourself on the game at least. But as they say, create chaos.
Do something.
I didn't see no chaos, big man.
You're playing against and I don't do the whole stereotype things and everything, but you're playing against a Ghana AFCON back to you, right?
Love that.
That should be a chaos extravaganza.
What's his name? Amati.
Hi.
Salisu.
Give me a 50-50 with them. They will love it. And they deserve it.
I'm seeing you, the ball comes, it's hitting your knee, then you're
false.
I expected a lot more.
Dud.
So he has to get a dud for me. No goals.
Yeah,
he left with nothing.
Uruguay in general are duds. Let's be real.
100%
Terrible.
For the dark horse, they were the new Turkey.
No, I think Serbia were the new Turkey.
No. Pre-tournament, Uruguay got the official,
No, but Uruguay have always been the dark horse.
Yeah, Uruguay are traditional. Yeah,
they're the traditional dark horse.
I think Serbia are my dark horse.
Do you know
or my Turkey. Yeah.
Because at least with Uruguay, it was like they can say it's a technicality because we arrived in the final game and If not for Son, we would have gone through. Serbia,
9 goals conceded in 3 games.
Serbia
hype, bro. Marco!
They talk. I just clapped. He was all loving it when Cam was doing up. Serbia
hype, man.
Get out of here.
Our cameraman, producer, all that shit. He's a Serbian.
Man, we're telling Vlahovic and Mitrovic are starting. Get out of here, man.
Get out of here, man. Didn't play a single minute.
They're my duds, bro. 9 goals.
Actually, wait.
Games.
Wait, hold on. So the tweet came out.
Hey, we're gonna ignore Belgium.
Hold on, I just want to say there's a super chat about Olu thinks, well, I don't know if he thinks him in particular, but Koulibaly was out here looking like he was playing at Everton levels. So I guess that's his dud of the tournament.
Damn.
No, but Koulibaly rose for Senegal to get them through.
A bigger dud than even Belgium, I would say, yeah? Was this camera on me?
Is this camera on me? Oi.
Focus on your football!
Whoa.
Yeah? You hear what the OG Wenger said?
Whoa.
Certain teams came prepared to the tournament rather than on their political BS. They came prepared for football. And look where they are. Knockout stages.
Whoa.
Yeah? Certain man sitting at home.
Whoa.
Focus on your football. This is the World Cup. This ain't the show and tell show.
Whoa. I wouldn't give Germany duds for that. I'll just give them duds for back-to-back tournaments.
No, for going home.
No, I'm saying back-to-back tournaments.
The last World Cup as well.
Yeah, back-to-back tournaments. Germany are supposed to be, efficiency and whatnot. A nation like Germany getting knocked out back-to-back.
Bro, after the rebuild
bad.
they went from as well to build that golden generation of the 2014 team.
They're still in transition for me, though.
No. But you're thinking when that 2014 team happened, that was like, I felt like that last run of that team, the Schweinsteigers, the Neuers, the Ozil, that was the last time you'd see them together. The 2018 was when we saw them decline. But they haven't had a plan after that. Their succession plan literally was, let's cling on to Jurgen Löw for as long as we can. And then once they realised that was going wrong last tournament, they brought in Hansi Flick. And listen, you can say them and Spain, they had the same kind of scorelines or whatever. But when I watched Germany, that did not look like an elite team. And I'm sorry. And you look at that German squad, Sane, Gundogan, Cruz. They're talking wonder kids like Mukoko in there. And they're looking like one of the worst teams in the tournament.
Do you think they were one of the worst teams in the tournament? Because I disagree.
They weren't one of the worst.
No,
the worst teams in the tournament, Denmark.
Sorry. To quote your old podcast, there was a whole lot of mid.
Look, Germany are the one team for me. I don't like people who go and say, all these big teams are eliminated, so it's going to make the round of 16 less interesting. No. Teams that qualify, especially for 3 games, you deserve to qualify.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think Germany were the one team I would have liked to see a little more, because I actually think they were improving. Like, XG-wise, if you're into all that kind of stuff, they had the highest XG of any team in the group stage. Like, they were creating chances. They just couldn't score. And one thing for me that I want to touch on is Hansi Flick. Because I'm a big Hansi Flick fan, right? But I think the issue with him, bro, is either he's too arrogant with his tactics or he's too naive.
Yeah.
He knows how to play one way, and it's high intensity, full pressure, play from halfway line, and that's how we're going to choke teams in. But, bro, there's an outball every single time. Japan exposed them, Spain exposed them, Costa Rica even exposed them. I wouldn't fire him yet because I think he's a great coach. I still believe that.
But, bro, on the point you're saying as well, the reason why it's alarming to me is you can't do that and have someone like Sule at fullback.
Well, that's the thing, right? At Bayern, it makes sense because you can choose the players you want in your system to basically suit that way of playing. But Germany, you're stuck with what you got, bro. You can't play a halfway line with Nicolas Sule and Raul and these guys. Bro, yeah, man.
Are you mad?
Here's another thing too, right? He's not my dud, but this Kimmich at midfield experiment, please end it, bro. Please put the guy at right back and play Goretzka and Gundogan in midfield. The guy's a right back. You are forcing this midfield thing. I don't know if it's... I won't say anything ridiculous because he's a good midfielder, but he's an elite level right back. That's his best position, in my opinion.
So optimize your team, man. Do the best you can, man. Have we got any super chats before we go into chats?
Yeah, we got a few of them.
Let's go super chats. Then we go.
Iñaki Williams declared for the motherland to get nutmegged by Luis Can't Run Mez. I don't know about that nickname. The ancestors have a plan for him. Natty Boy says...
Who said that word, actually? That's funny.
Just waffling.
Oh, okay.
And then Natty Boy says, from what you've seen so far, who would be your January transfer window signing for each of your respective clubs? We'll say from this World Cup. Like, from this World Cup, who's impressed you that you want in your club? I would say for you, bro, the right back. What's his name?
Dumfries, I would say. Dumfries is one I would...
You said realistic as well.
I think... if we're talking realistic targets, he's one I think in January we could go out and grab, and I think solves the solution. Oh, man.
You want to dream bigger a little bit?
I'd love a centre-back as well. I'm looking at all the centre-backs there, but I'm like, bro, the good ones are costing an arm and a leg.
Definitely.
Lonas Licha.
Licha.
Hey, when I saw him, Romero together on the same line, I was like,
That hurts you, I know.
I can.
No, but you want that in your club.
Listen, I need that club, but hey, I'll take it out Argentina.
Chelsea wouldn't be able to get Gakpo. There's no point.
Nah, he's coming over here.
He won't.
You're getting Nkunku. You're getting.
No, but I'm saying from the World Cup.
I'll tell you who. Gvardiol.
No, but that one's there. That's a shooting for us. But again, he's 20. His performance in the last game for a 20-year-old to be doing
Different,
that.
bro. That's
insane.
$100 million centre back for real.
But there's that. People won't like this one, but we've been crying out for creative outlet that can do more. Like, obviously, he's signed his whole thing with Atleti, but Griezmann showed me that he still has one more left in him.
These guys love these players with no real role. And like,
He has one more left in
for
him.
Griezmann at Chelsea.
You're
No,
crazy.
I'm just saying in
Join
general.
Oba and the other pensioners, brother. You don't want Chelsea to succeed.
Brother.
This guy wants
No.
to take Chelsea to.
I'm
All
talking
of
about
Chelsea's
back to the
attackers
England
already have
days.
no role.
No, I'm
Havertz,
talking about in that little bit there.
Just
He's
bare man
shown that he
floating.
could
You
just.
know, you remember the Pro Evolution Soccer formation?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no
You see the
actual
vision.
position, guys.
You
It's
see
just-
the vision.
you know.
If you put them all together,
Griezmann's
it
the
can
ultimate
work.
floater, bro. Oh my
If you put them all
God.
together, it can work. Bellingham won't come Chelsea as well, but I don't know, man. Chelsea's a weird one. We've got too many,
You need the whole team.
bro. It's not about you need a whole team. It's like I haven't seen Madison this tournament, but I would say I want a 10. I want a 10 that's just going to create.
I'll tell you who I want. Outside of Gakpo, because I think that's a certainty he'll end up at United. Enzo Fernandez. Casemiro, Enzo, Bruno. I'll take that to the bank, man. That's a midfield three for the ages, bro. Enzo Fernandez. £120 million buyout clause, though, so I don't know about all that. But
Listen, man.
I think a top club will snatch that up sooner.
You man are about to get takeover still, so it's possible.
Run me mine.
You're saying champs?
We got one more. My fault.
Go on.
Mr. Dare I Say It Driftly says Camavinga and Alvarez subbed on hype. I don't know what that means, but fair enough.
My champ, Vincent Abubakar.
Is he a champ or a dud for that?
He's a champ.
Nah, he's a
bro.
champ. He's a
What
champ.
do you mean? We're not qualifying.
That's real men.
We're not
right
qualifying.
That's real
bro.
men.
We're not qualifying. I've put Salah in the dirt. Let me enjoy this moment.
He's real man.
Let me enjoy this moment.
No,
And then to do like this to the rest, always like, got
Let
you.
me enjoy this moment. Then you see, in fact, let me try and you man say your duds. Your champs. Let me get his Instagram post up. I said this guy is a legend.
Who's
My
your
champ would be. Let me get it up 1 second. It is the Senegalese player actually.
Ndiaye.
His name is Iliman Ndiaye. Yes.
My guy. Sheffield
Back in
United.
2019, was playing for UK grassroots side
Bournemouth.
Rising Ballers, hoping to get a deal. 3 years later, he's at the World Cup quarterfinal.
That's crazy.
Crazy to think of it, or first knockout round, sorry. But obviously, I think this season as well, he's got 10 goals and assists and 21 championship
For
appearances.
Sheffield United, man.
For
I told
Sheffield
you. Man,
United,
how many
bro.
times I tweeted about him? That's my
I'm
guy.
Listen, you know me, I don't keep too tough on the
on,
championship and that high quality football, but fair play to him, man. That's a hell of a climb. 3 years ago to playing for basically a non-professional team to now you're at the World Cup.
That's
Bro,
crazy, bro.
that is poetic.
So let me read out his caption here. This is Abubakar. Yeah? Football is about living unforgettable moments and making you feel emotions. Yesterday we left the competition giving it all, hoping I made you vibrate. The people of Cameroon and all football lovers. That is a
Proper.
champ.
That's
Man said, listen,
Hey, listen.
I'm putting on a show for you.
Eto might be in trouble, you know.
Did you guys give your duds too or no?
Yeah, we give it. That's
I give my dud.
Go for it.
My dud is KDB. Is this camera on me right now? KDB. Everyone was saying, oh, he must be a hater because of how much I was going at him. On the contrary, I've actually suggested that KDB might be the most talented player to ever play in the Premier League as a midfielder. He might be the Premier League's best ever midfielder. Might be. And that's why it's so disappointing for me to see a player of that caliber, that elite caliber, to come out before a ball is even kicked, whether it was a day before or a month before or a year before, and effectively rule out and basically say my team has no chance of doing anything. That, for me, for a superstar footballer, is unforgivable. And worse than that, okay, if your team has no chance, it's not like I expect Belgium to do anything. They're a poor team and they're an aging team. But at least go and do something yourself. Show me something, bro. To be one of your team's worst players in those first two games when you're the talisman, you're the team's best player, and you're the guy who just a few days earlier said we had no chance because the team's too old, you got to at least step up and rise yourself. Such a poor tournament. The third game is a little bit better. Lukaku will obviously take the L's there. And Lukaku, that's another one for dud of the tournament.
God damn.
KDB was extremely disappointing to hear that from him because
I asked him to rise before the tournament. I looked at this very camera here and I said, you are the representative of football because number one and number two are not here. You have to do something. and he did diddly score. I have nothing to say on him.
Hey,
Go back to City, win your Premier League, get your PFA playoffs.
And here's the
Actually, you're not even
thing,
getting PFA playoffs because
Bro,
it's Holland.
hell no.
So you're leaving with nothing.
Let me say
it's
this
done
too,
for
right?
you.
This whole like my team is too old to do anything. Croatia in the 2018 World Cup had the same average age as this Belgium team, and Modric was able to rise the team up and go to the final, and he won best player at the tournament.
Did you hear what Vertonghen said? Man said maybe our attackers are...
Maybe that's the issue, bro. But anyways, my point was, I didn't expect Belgium to do it. I'm not saying KDB has to win the best player of the tournament.
But do something, man.
Hold yourself accountable. Make sure you give the good performances, and the rest can fall in the line. He couldn't even do that.
None of the poking is like, wake up, do something, bro. Do nothing, man. Lukaku, I feel for Lukaku because he has to score. Let's get that straight.
Man.
Two things can
4 or
coexist.
5 chances.
Two things can coexist. He must. You must score. You must. However, it's just a shame that the failure of this tournament, Belgium, and the generation, because ultimately this will be the moment where this generation capsizes. The failure of this generation will now sit on his performance rather than looking at everything, which is Martinez, dud, players not rising. Like, it's a shame that it's all going to fall on him. And the irony of it is, he was trying to be the peacemaker in the camp. That is the irony. That's why sometimes...
Nobody wins in the family feuds, dog. Come on.
Hey, I've got another... Oh, I stepped my head. Oh, my God. I had a dud. Oh,
There's so many,
good.
bro. Lewandowski for me is a dud. Major dud for me.
Yeah.
Qatar national team is a dud. There's so many,
God.
bro.
No, I had a good one. Oh, that's going to bug me. I had a really good one. Was it a team? Alright, it's fine, man. It'll come back. You got any super chats? Any questions? Any duds in there?
No super chat so far. Did you do your champs?
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
champs.
yeah,
We
yeah.
did champs. We did champs.
I had
Actually, sorry.
You remembered it.
Giroud has to get a champ for breaking the record. And I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
this is controversial, but Henri, you've had a bad week. We said it was going to happen. You've had a bad week. You didn't coach, and your record got taken over, and Mbappe is going to take over your record as well. It's a no. I'm so sorry. We have to address it for what it is. People are not going to like it. They love Henri. Henri's their father. That's cool. But it's a no. For your team to get dumped out when you're the assistant coach, Lukaku, striker, you couldn't coach him to score.
Yeah.
Giroud takes your... Nah, it's an L. I'm so sorry. Henri, you have to hold it. You're not a dud.
So many levels.
You're not a dud, but you have to hold the L. I'm so sorry, bro. You have to hold it. And on that bombshell, listen.
I got nothing else to add.
Another episode. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back with episodes. Qatar from afar will be going. Liaz will be doing his thing. Make sure you check out all of the individual socials because we'll be letting tweets fly. Sure, I got to 8K. Make sure you keep pushing us forward. Manscaped, 20% off. STTV, is it? Hair.
Yeah, it's there. You got it.
It's there. Make sure you go and do that because ultimately you're helping the man when you do that. God bless. We'll see you soon. We're out. Push.
Peace.
This is the bit where nobody talks until the thing comes.
This game on me.
Do.